My listeners are getting me through life right now.
Okay.
And they go through, and I've never had so many messages about the Nest Cam. Like, that just keeps going and going and going. And by the way, Sherry and Doug were here. I took the Nest Cam down so Gage could no longer watch us in the nursery because he's been gone for 3 months, and I don't think he should have access to cameras.
Okay.
And so Sherry and Doug were here, disagreed with me. But just so you know, everybody single person that has written, and it's been hundreds and hundreds of people, and we're like, take that Nest Cam. He doesn't have access to that. He left the family. I'm sorry. So the other things people have been saying to me, which you're right, this open door visitation policy
No, it never works.
is not working out. It's not working out. You are right. My 12 listeners are correct. And I did say to Gage yesterday, I said, moving forward, I think we need to have some sort of schedule. I said, I know that our schedules change weekly. So how about Sundays? We go over the week ahead of time. And, we'll go. The other thing, too, is I don't necessarily want to be there when he's there all the time. So I said, let's just go over the week, and we'll go over what, when you want to see her, when I want to see her. The other thing, too, is that, you're not coming over twice a day anymore. That's just not realistic. It's not realistic. So, and I don't know how you feel about that, Heather. But
no, I mean, I definitely think, in separating with co-parenting, there has to be a schedule. Whether you think you can do this without an attorney or not, I would certainly have like a mediator. I would have a schedule set. I would keep things text so that there is a thing. Hopefully you'll get to a place where something pops up and you go, hey, can you take her Wednesday night? Absolutely, But in the meantime, what I hear from divorced people is it just gets very frustrating because then you don't know, and then the kid, and then also when you get to the age where she's older, buy 2 soccer uniforms, buy 2 books, buy the books at each place, buy the backpack, so that you're not yelling that like her one knee pad is missing. Like, just stop all that. Be grateful that you have a couple bucks to buy an extra soccer uniform, because that adds to a lot of extra fighting. Just try to make things as convenient and
so you know what to expect.
Yeah, no time.
Okay.
Not time consuming.
Let me go back on that for a second. So it doesn't. No, I'm not necessarily saying he cannot see her twice a day. What I'm saying is that, like, for example, I go to New York today. He's going to stay at the house for 4 days.
Okay.
So he's got her for 4 straight days. So then he said to me, "Oh, can I come over Saturday morning?" And he was actually very reasonable. I said, "Okay, well, just know that the last time I'm going to see Monroe is Monday night because I leave for radio early. I will not see her Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do not see her until Friday evening, Gage." I said, "So it would be nice if I can just have alone time with her on Friday evening, Saturday morning."
Yes.
And he was reasonable. He's like, "I get that." I said, "It's hard for me to take these trips and leave for this long."
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, right now it's good. We're having a conversation. I don't think we need attorneys at this point. And since he understands now that we do need some sort of structure. So, for example, last Saturday, and where this started is Saturday, Scott came over, and I took him to dinner before he told me, if we're still doing this.
Yeah.
And I said to him, Gage was coming from 5:30 to 7, and I said to Gage, I said, Scott was coming over at 6.
You didn't need overlap.
Yeah, we don't want overlap here. And I said, is there any way that you could come a little earlier and do Bath and then maybe leave by 5:30? And he's like, why? I don't understand. I said, well, I want to be very transparent here. I said, Scott's coming over. There needs to be probably a half an hour overlap.
Buffer,
Buffer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, just forget it. I'm not going to come over. And I could tell he's a little pissy about it. And I was like, okay, well, all right, so
but this is my point.
Yeah, don't come over, I guess.
But this is what I'm saying. This is why if you're able to have a little more of a set schedule, like,
I know, that's what we're going to do.
We're going to have to, because
but it has to change every week, Heather, because I travel and it's got to change weekly. We can't just have a Monday, Tuesday, and Friday.
I understand that, but it has to be a little firmer just so that there isn't this back and forth. And
we're probably going to get there.
I think you guys are doing actually really good.
We are. The only thing, Heather, is that I'll tell you, on Sunday morning he came to see the baby, and he was cold to me and like really kind of pissy all day Sunday. So we saw her Sunday morning, and then he did it again in the evening. And that was when I was like, you're affecting me. Like, your energy's affecting me.
His
like
mood.
When you walk in this house, your moods. And I lived with that for 10 years. And
right.
it is I miss a lot of things about Gage, but it's the one thing I don't miss is the moods, the dramatic mood swings, and wondering what's going on. And by the way, no communication, because I had sent him a text after he left. I'm like, is everything okay? You seem to really, really upset. And of course, just no response. I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. I don't have to deal with that shit anymore.
Right.
So I don't
Right.
want to deal with that anymore.
So maybe
Yes.
you're
You know
not
what?
there when
Let
he's
the
there.
new boyfriend deal with the fucking mood swings because
Yes.
I am done. I am retired from the mood swings.
Yes.
And so
Amen, sister.
that's what I said on Monday. Maybe we should talk about because
I actually think, and I'm going to predict this.
predict it.
I don't think it works out when I know you know when someone comes into your house while you're gone and hangs out with the baby. I personally think he should take her.
Go to the park.
Go to the park. He, should have his own place with a small extra bedroom for her. She should be able to spend the night there, have weekends, and maybe not now, but maybe when she's a little older. It should be more on the own terms. And you've got to also trust that when your partner takes your child, you can't control all of that either. You know what I mean? Like if they're going to have an ice cream at midnight, they're going to have an ice cream at midnight, when they're with their
Gage
other
won't
dad.
let her have an ice cream at midnight.
I'm saying
He does take her to yogurt at 7 though.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
cute.
saying,
But he's a bit controlling.
But I'm saying that's what
No,
you're going to have to do.
But that's what's going to happen.
You chose to have a child not alone. And once you do that, too bad. So I also think people should also think about having children completely by themselves.
The next one is by myself. Next one is by myself.
I thought Andy did it brilliantly.
Yep.
I'm like, he wanted to have a baby by 50.
Make
he
your own
wasn't in a
decisions.
relationship. That way, if someone comes along, it's secondary. The child is his. He makes the decisions of what school. I mean, look at Bethany Frankel. Do you know how much she wishes she just...
Yeah, but I wouldn't have had the baby without Gage.
I know.
I wouldn't have done it.
He's a great dad.
He's a great dad. I wouldn't have done it without him.
But I'm saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
So you need to then share that time and share that responsibility, but know that you also have to let go when the other parent has that child, and you can't control the diet and the hair.
And we had a conversation about that too.
Yeah.
The incessant texting when the baby's with me, like. The baby's fine. We're good. Like, I understand we'll give you a couple reasonable updates, but we're not giving you a play-by-play of the day. We're not doing that.
And
so
she's really young. So, it's going to get better as she gets older.
Right.
But, that's my advice. And I think that,
it's going to be a new normal.
It's going to be a new normal, but I do think coming in, I know some people do that. That's kind of like the separate together, that show, separating together. Whatever.
Yeah, but I think they do it early on. And then
like
eventually
living in the house and stuff. I don't know, because then it's your stuff, and it's like
that's what people do early on,
and
then
boyfriend will like leave something there, and then he sees it, and then you feel like your privacy's been invaded. I think it's like all with good intentions. I think it's just very difficult to.
You're absolutely right. It's very realistic. That's what my 12 listeners have been saying to me via Instagram. I listen to what everybody says.